Hi everyone, so this is going to be the second part of my video about my favorite brushes and the brush that I've been loving. So I'm going to quickly start off with the flat shader brushes. So my first favorite brush is obviously the universally favorite flat shader brush, which is the 239 flat shader brush by MAC. And I love this brush because it is kind of stiff and it really packs on the eyeshadow really well on the lid. But I've been looking around for good and affordable alternatives for this brush, and I found that the most affordable brush that works really similar to the MAC 239 is the e.l.f. professional eyeshadow brush, which is just this small flat brush, and it has natural bristles and is a really nice brush, and it works really good, and it's approximately the same size as the MAC 239. Another brush that I love to use to pack on eyeshadow on my lid is the C415 Deluxe Sable Shader Brush, and this is by Crown Brushes. This is also a nice flat brush. This is slightly bigger in size, so it gives you more quicker application of eyeshadow on your lid. Another universally loved brush is the 217 brush by MAC, and this is a nice kind of blending brush. It is stiff from the bottom and it has slightly fluffier tip. So this is a multi-purpose brush. You can use this to pack on eyeshadow and also kind of blend it into your crease. So I love this brush. This is my favorite crease brush. I always blend my eyeshadows with this brush. Fortunately, I have found 4 brushes which are comparable. The first brush, which is very similar to the MAC 217, is the C433 Pro Blending Fluff Brush by Crown Brushes. It is absolutely similar. You can see they both look alike. If they're in your makeup brush stand, you would never know which is which. This one is the C403 Pro Blending Fluff Brush, and this is the 217 by MAC, and they're both soft. This one is not as soft as the 217, but it's still soft, and it is a really good dupe and a good alternative. If you can't afford to buy this one, then this is a really good alternative. This is, I think, around £6 from Crown Brushes. I don't know the exact prices, but I will give the link to the Crown Brushes in the description box, so that you can go on the website and check these out. Next one, which is a good dupe for MAC 217, is the Sigma Blending E25, which I have, I think, the traveling size one. This is also really soft. I think this is also a really good alternative to the 217. Next one is the Blend and Contour brush from number 7, which is supposed to be a good alternative to the MAC 217. But I have to say, even though it looks a lot like the 217, it is not exactly a good dupe for it. In itself, it is a good brush. The number 7 brush is kind of flimsy, but it is a really good brush to kind of feather out the eyeshadow above the crease. But it is not an exact dupe for 217, but it's still a really good brush for having in your kit, and it is really reasonable, especially if you have the number 7 voucher, which gives you £5 off. Then this brush might cost you, I think, £2 or £3, so this is a really good. The next brush is one of those brushes which really amazed me. It is the base shadow brush from Real Techniques. A phenomenal dupe for the MAC 217. Even better because this is a synthetic brush, but as it has tacked on bristles and they're like really fine, it picks up the product really well, just like the natural bristled brushes. And it's not like those normal synthetic brushes which just don't really pick up that much product. But this one really does pick up the product, and it is exactly the same. It is kind of stiff from the bottom and kind of fluffy at the tip. It is absolutely wonderful to kind of apply the eyeshadow in the crease and blend it out. Plus, this is an amazing brush to apply cream eyeshadow, because when you apply, kind of pack on the cream eyeshadow, you also really want to blend out the edges. As this is synthetic, it is really useful and handy to use with the cream eyeshadows and cream bases. And next, my favorite blending brushes are both from Crown Brushes, and unfortunately my most favorite brush does not have a name. I picked it up from the makeup trade show, and this is from Crown Brushes, and this is just a nice big fluffy brush, and it really kind of helps you to feather out the eyeshadow above your crease. This is also amazing. I have been using this brush for my concealer as well. I've used this a lot for my concealer, but I found that the consistency of the concealer was way too heavy for this natural hair bristled brush, and I thought that it was kind of damaging this brush, so I'm just going to keep this for my for blending my eyeshadow. another brush which is very similar to this one is from Crown Brushes as well, and it is the C200 Deluxe Crease Brush. And the one I have is from Encore collection, and I think I have a backup for this which I bought from the website, which was being sold separately, and both of these brushes are absolutely gorgeous. They're both natural bristled. They both have natural bristles, and they work really well to blend out the eyeshadow. Another blending brush which I like is by Revlon, and it is the Revlon Contour Shadow Brush. And this one is slightly smaller than the bigger blending brushes. I use this in my crease, and when I just don't want my eyeshadow to be like too much blended, and just to kind of stay in the crease area. So I really like this one. This is by Revlon, and this is the Contour Shadow Brush. Next, on to pencil brushes. Definitely the first pencil brush that comes into your mind is the MAC 219, and I've recently found a couple of dupes for this. The first alternative, or the dupe you can call it, is the C431 Precision Detail Brush, and this one's also from Crown Brushes, and you can see that they both look quite similar. And the MAC one is slightly more tapered. It's like it has a slightly more narrower tip, whereas this one is kind of slightly stubby. It is tapered, but it's not too much tapered, but it is a good alternative. It works really well. It works in the same way, and you can use these for like kind of smudging your eyeliner, or you can use this in the inner corner, or you can use this for going into the crease, kind of creating a cut crease. I mainly use these pencil brushes to do the cut crease work. This is another brush that I really like. This is also a kind of a pencil brush, and it's quite similar to the MAC 219, if you can see, but this one is synthetic, and I like it because sometimes when I'm doing cut crease work, I like to go in with kind of a creamier product, or maybe gel eyeliner in the crease to kind of to kind of like really intensify the cut crease work. So this works brilliantly, and it also works really good with eyeshadows. And this one is by Royal Enhance, and this is the Royal Enhance eyeshadow brush. Another brush which I really like, which is a pencil brush, is by number 7, and this is just kind of a stubby a brush. It is supposed to be a smoky eyeliner brush. This is kind of a blend, what do you call it, kind of a smudger brush to kind of smudge the eyeliner on your lower lash and upper lash line, and you can also go in your inner corner and also go in your crease. So this is also a multitask brush. I really like this. Again, if you have number 7 voucher which has £5 off, this will like be a really cheap brush, and this is really a good brush to have in your kit. Another type of smudge brush that I love to use for applying a precise eyeshadow on my lower lash line, or also kind of buffing out the eyeliner, is this kind of brush. This is a C408 Chisel Shader Brush. And it's just like this. It's a really small brush. And the other one I have is from Bourjois Paris, but I don't think that you can find this anywhere because I got this free when I bought some stuff from Bourjois last year. So I don't think you might be able to get this one, but these two are really similar, so you can get this one. This is not that expensive. This is the C408 Chisel Shader Brush from Crown Brushes, and this is also a dupe for one of the MAC brushes. Moving on to my highlighting brushes for the eyes. I usually highlight in the inner corner of my eye and under my brow bone on the highest point, but I have like 4 different favorite brushes for applying highlighter in the inner corner, and the first one is this one. This is my favorite. This is from Crown Brushes, and this is the C212 Detail Mini Chisel Brush, and this is a very kind of tiny brush to go in your inner corner of your eye, and also kind of taking the eyeshadow onto your lower lash line. Next are these 2 brushes. One is from Real Techniques and the other one is from Vital Radiance, and this one is from Vital Radiance, just a small concealer brush. You can use this for kind of pinpoint concealing, but I like this one to apply highlighter in the inner corner of my eyes. And the other brush which is really similar to this one is the Detail brush from Real Techniques, and this is quite similar to this. the Real Techniques brush is slightly fatter from the top, but they both work in the same way. And as this is slightly bigger, I can just kind of close my eyes and just dab the eyeshadow or the highlight here, and when you open your eye, the product will be on, like, both on the in the inner corner of the upper lashes and the lower lashes as well, so it kind of covers both the lash lines at the same time. Also, it goes really well for applying the highlighter under the eyebrows. The accent brush by Real Techniques, and it is also a really small brush. It's slightly bigger than my tiniest brush, so it is also really good to kind of apply the highlight or kind of going under the lower lash line with the eyeshadow, or kind of buffing out your eyeliner. So these four are my highlighting brushes for the eye. For the lips, I like two different kinds of brushes. One is the really round tapered lip brush, and the other one is kind of flat lip brush. I have a couple of backups of the Real Techniques detail brush, so I use this one for my lips as well, because it's the size of this brush is really good for applying lipstick on your lips. So I like that one. And this flat brush came in my 24 brush set, and I love the brushes. I love some of the brushes that came in my 24 brush makeup brush set, which I got from eBay. I've been using them for years and years, and they're still the same, and they work really well. So this is one of them. And these two are the round tip lip brushes. This one is actually an eyeliner brush. This one says that this is a pixel point eyeliner brush, but this is in no way an eyeliner brush, because it is way too fat. But this is a really good lip brush. You can just use this to kind of create its bow of your lip and apply lipstick. This is a really good one. And my favorite one, which I use a lot, is the W7 lip brush, which is also a round tapered lip brush. So these were my lip brushes. For applying gel eyeliner or liquid eyeliner, I use these two brushes. These two are my favorite. One which has been with me for a long time, and I use it on almost daily basis, is this one. And this came with my 24 makeup brush set, which has no name. It was just from eBay. The other eyeliner brush is from Crown Brushes. Again, this one does not have a name, which is such a big fail from Crown Brushes, because this brush is such a great brush. They should name it so that I would be able to kind of tell you which brush this is. I really regret not picking up 2 or 3 of these brushes when I was at the makeup trade show, but this is just a really fine brush. It looks a little fluffy right now because I just washed these brushes, but this is also a really fine. This brush is much more finer than my previous brush, so I use this when I'm kind of applying eyeliner right in the inner corner of my eyes to get a really fine line. Last but not the least, my eyebrow brushes. I use angled brushes to fill in my eyebrows with eyeshadow. The one I use the most is this one, which is just a flat angled eyeliner brush, which again came in the 24 makeup brush set from eBay. So I've been using this ever since. This is one of my favorite brushes when I really want a kind of a really defined eyebrow, because it really helps me to kind of create a very strong eyebrow. So this is the brush I use the most. But when I want a very soft natural look, like today, I used this brush. This is by Real Techniques, and this is the brow brush. Most of the people say that this is a bit too big for using this for brows, but I think if you have thick brows, or if you have like the brows like me, this is a really good brush to use if you want kind of a really soft brow, because if you just keep this brush in the middle of the brow and just kind of sweep it, it gives you a really softer shape, because you're just applying the because the density of the product will be in the middle, and the outer corners of your eyebrows would be really light, so it's just going to create a really natural look. Another good dupe for this one is the W7 angled brush. I've also used this a lot. These were all my brushes which I've been using for my eyes lately, and I've been loving these brushes. Don't forget to watch the first part of this video, which is about the face brushes, and I will post the link over here so that you can go and check that video out in case you haven't seen that before. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and also follow me on my Facebook page, which is Makeup Obsessed Beauty. All the links will be in the description box below, so don't forget to check that out as well. Until my next video, you guys take care. Bye bye.